This is a guide to Zap Cables do-it-yourself soldering kit. Note, this is not a general soldering guide. You should have at least basic soldering skills. Things included in kit: USB 28 gauge wire, Imperial Red paracord, USB-C terminal and housing, USB-A terminal and housing, gray heat shrink, solder, and a Zap Cables sticker. The tools you will need: scissors, tweezers, needle nose pliers, wire snips, box cutter, lighter, soldering iron. Note, I did not have a 28 gauge wire stripper, but you should use one if you have it. Start off by removing the Velcro strap from the cable and paracord. Then unwind the paracord, and if one of the ends is particularly frayed, now would be the time to trim it. For the end of the USB cables that you will be feeding into the paracord, check to make sure no wires are hanging out. They should be flush with the casing. Start by inserting the USB cable into the paracord. Then push some of the paracord onto the USB cable and pull it to the end. Repeat this until the entire USB cable is covered. After you're done, leave 2 to 3 inches of the wire exposed to work with. Next, we need to strip the wires. Begin by cutting off a 1/2 inch of the casing. Next, we need to remove the wire and solid shielding. Separate the wire shielding and use the wire snips to remove as much as possible. Then, peel back the solid shielding and use the wire snips to make a small cut that we will use to peel the shielding away with. Separate the wires to make them easier to strip. This is where you would use a 28 gauge wire stripper if you had one. After you are done stripping the wires, twist them so they don't fray. Next, we will tin the wires. Apply a small amount of solder to each wire. This is the USB-C packaging. The pinout diagram is shown on the front of the package. Remove the USB-C terminal. Notice the 4 contacts on the left side of the USB connector. This is where we will be soldering our wires. Arrange the wires according to the pinout diagram on the front of your package. In my case, this is black, green, white, red. You can use tweezers to bend the wires on the end to face the correct direction. According to my pinout diagram, the black wire should be on the left. Now solder each wire to its contact on the USB terminal. Do this by touching the soldering iron to the wire until the solder melts. Ensure the wire remains straight relative to the terminal while soldering. After you are done, check your work to ensure none of the wires are touching and the solder has not bridged any of the gaps on the contacts. In preparation for the housing, slide the paracord to the end of the USB terminal. Next, snap the two halves of the USB-C housing around the USB terminal. Ensure each tooth is in the cutout in the side of the housing and that there are no gaps where the two halves come together. Then, clamp the center piece of the USB housing firmly against the wire. Now begin to roll the wings tightly against the USB wire. The goal is to get the wings as flat against the wire as possible without pinching the wire. You may need to go back and forth a couple of times to ensure the wings are tight. Next, repeat the stripping and tinning steps on the other end of the wire. This is the USB-A packaging. The pinout diagram is shown on the front of the package. Remove the USB-A terminal. Fill each of the silver trays with solder. Arrange the wires according to the pinout diagram on the front of your package. In my case, this is black, green, white, red. Now solder each wire to its respective tray. Do this by placing the wire in the tray and touching the soldering iron to the wire until the solder melts. Again, inspect your work to ensure none of the wires are touching and the solder has not bridged any of the gaps between the trays. Slide the paracord up to the end of the USB terminal. Starting at the other end of the cable, slide the paracord along the wire. The goal is to make the paracord tight along the entire wire. If there is extra paracord, we can fray the paracord and trim it. You want the paracord to line up with the bottom of the USB terminal. Now grab the larger of the two halves of the USB-A housing and insert the USB-A terminal with the wires facing up. Ensure the notched piece of the terminal is flush with the housing. Make sure the paracord isn't sticking out of the housing. If you have any stray paracord, trim it with scissors. Next, snap the two halves of the USB housing together. Make sure there is no space between both sides of the housing. Pinch the center tab tightly against the wire. Now roll each wing until it is flat against the cable. If your heat shrink does not easily slide over the USB-A housing, you may need to stretch it. This can be done with a pair of needle nose pliers. Insert the pliers into the heat shrink and pull the handles apart. Slide the heat shrink down the wire and over the USB-A housing. Use a lighter to heat the heat shrink, moving from one end of the heat shrink to the other. The flame should never touch the heat shrink. Repeat these steps for the USB-C end. This time, the heat shrink should hang over the USB-C housing ever so slightly. And there you have it, the finished product. Thanks for watching.